Put me bum on the microphone.
Check.
Yeah, one.
Please don't.
I got sunshine
We recording?
on a cloudy day.
All right.
And it's cold
It's cold outside.
More in here.
Huh?
It's cold in here, though.
I've got the month of May.
Don't matter.
It's September.
Randy?
Do you remember?
TJ. Hello.
A Wubik's Cube.
Hello.
I want you to do this.
Sir, if you want me to do this is going to be a really long podcast.
I feel like he made it easy for you. Am I wrong in saying that?
Well, actually, yeah, but I mean, that's just what I did when I was home. I should have mixed it up, then handed it to him, but
Yeah, I feel like you made it easy for him.
well, yeah, try to solve that one.
It's not a pattern to it. You should just be able to do it.
Bro, I couldn't do it. I'm just saying, I think he made it a little easy.
Well, it looks like he's already got what? The yellow
Sausage.
No,
off.
it's done.
It's done.
It's
No,
done.
It's not, sir. Last time I checked,
May I hold it?
all sides should match. When
He's
it's
going to
done.
do like 3 moves and have it done. What the Sigma?
That's what I did.
Cheese
That's what
on
I did.
Cheese on bread. What did I just say? He's going to do like 3
Hang on,
moves and
I
be
got
done.
Done.
Bada bing, bada boom. Yep, you just got to edit that to make
Bro,
it.
I'll tell you right now.
Him doing it.
Rubik's Cube is beyond my knowledge.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mix this up generously and give it to Christopher.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Thankfully, there was no subject in Rubik's Cubology because I would have failed. I failed pre-algebra, man. I had to go to
Pre-algebra?
Pre-algebra.
That's just
Not
like
even
addition.
algebra. It was like an introductory to, and I failed it.
That's like you happen to have a letter in there.
Yeah.
It was,
It's like
I
2
feel like
plus
it-
X equals 4. What is X?
Randy, you're so dumb. we have already established this from what? Episode number 2?
1s through 3.
No, that was episode 3. That was an Apocalyptics.
Oh.
Yeah. That
Is that when we did the Monty Hall thing?
Yeah. Yeah. That was a
Well,
lot.
no. I don't want to call you dumb for that. It's
I want to call you dumb for something else.
no. Well, yeah. For that though, it's like
Bro,
it's
this one
misleading.
slides so easy.
You're right. You should feel the way you feel,
Okay. I should feel dumb.
but you were wrong. Honestly, that'll preach.
Yeah? What will that
What?
preach?
What are we preaching about?
Like it doesn't
You
matter what you feel.
are dumb.
Nah. Like so, if God says some things are right and some things are wrong, even if you feel a certain way, you are still wrong. It doesn't matter how
come
you
on.
feel. Much like you were wrong about the door thing. Cristobal, que es tu nombre?
Wow. Espanol.
Don't hurt yourself.
Wait, what is it? Como te llama? Is that what is your name? Or is that my name is?
Oh, well, yeah. I think I did the the white version. What is your name?
Yo soy es Christopher. I don't know if you have an accent in Christopher, but
yeah, me llamo Christopher.
me llamo Chris. There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
You got to roll your R's, man. It's Crease. Crease.
That actually reminds me of something. I'm playing this game that's like Farming Simulator with my friends, and my friend Steven was like, "Hola, me llamo Randall." And actually, you're Randall. So
I'm Randall.
Yeah.
I am, sir. Carlos was like in 7th grade, we took Spanish, and I was Carlos because I was Charles.
Ah.
Like my real name's Charles, by the way. Fun fact.
What's happening right now?
the pod track is low on batteries, even though it said 3 a second ago.
Are we going to continue until it dies?
Yeah, we'll just pause and take the batteries out and shove them back.
So,
TJ, you have to introduce yourself.
Why? Oh,
Ha! Get it?
no.
I don't
Tables
get
have
it.
turned.
Oh, I see.
No.
I've been ruined. I am TJ. Not that it matters.
It absolutely matters, sir.
It matters to me.
I am Randy.
Randy with 2 Q's.
2 Q's.
Bro.
And
Why are
Chris
Rubik's Cubes so hard
is trying to figure out the
I give
Rubik's
up.
Cube. So,
Yeah. I know it makes it easy to slide it, but
Yeah.
it's almost hard because you have to like control it.
yeah.
I would do
It's-
this for days rather than yours is like trying to put 2 pieces of cement together.
So what? It's episode 5, right?
Cinco.
Episode
Journeyland.
5. Last episode, we talked about movies and such,
Yep.
TV shows. This week, a little more, I wouldn't say serious, but I would say this week, we've got on the schedule to talk about fashion and its impact on culture, modesty. We're going to throw in there. I have a really deep question when it comes to the modesty section when we get there. So I'm super excited about that one. Awesome. So we back online, right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
I don't know why I said that.
So fashion, culture.
Fashion.
I know. I mean, right now, I feel like we have a panel of experts when it comes to fashion. I mean, the epitome of fashion, I believe, is
Not gonna lie, first day you guys showed up, I was like, these 2 dress very well.
Thank you.
yeah.
The video we did in the parking lot,
It was just a hook, man. We
Oh,
just
yeah,
wanted
that
to
was
hook
a good
everybody.
but I was like, man, they're dressed like to the nines.
It's like, look, we're
They're going out
cool.
tonight.
We're cool. And then it was like, never mind. It's just Chris and Randy. But, dude, so for me, granted, there are people who are much more educated than this. But for me, like, I have always tried. Good job.
TJ solved the Rubik's Cube, guys.
Well done, sir.
TJ is
well
better
done.
at me than
Sorry.
something.
When it comes to fashion, I have always tried to keep up with current trends, not to be cool, right? But like, I never wanted to be that person that was stuck in their decade and can still look in the mirror and go, yes, I'm going out in public like this. We all know them. If you go to Walmart, you see them. Target, I mean, it's a little more upscale, so you may not see it as much, but Walmart most certainly. But I think it's always been something that's intrigued me. I like it because it's an expression of, kind of your interests, kind of what you like. But I do remember there was a time long ago when I was in middle school that I could not keep up with the trends or fashion.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily have a lot of money growing up. And so I got like the Kmart, like it was when the blue light specials were happening. Does anybody remember that? Or is that no, it's
I
past
never
your time.
shopped at Kmart.
All right. We're going to have to get Lisa a microphone because I feel like she agrees with me on a lot of these things. But like the blue light special would be like, the clearance section in Kmart.
Okay.
So I got a lot of my stuff from that. And I always remember going to school and my friends that would have like, the name brand stuff. It was when Champion was like legit,
Yeah.
right? And they didn't sell it in Walmart. And so it was like when they had Champion and I'm coming like with this off brand that's looking all just janky, they would make fun of me. And so as I got older, I think because of that, I may have found identity or tried to find identity in the clothes that I wore. So I say all that to say, like, I feel like fashion in general is an outward expression of who we are as an individual, but it can also go to a point where it's unhealthy.
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
100%. I actually talked about this a little bit last night with the middle school students. We were talking about prayer and a story with Samuel and how basically Israel wanted to be like everyone else. And I was explaining to them, like, a lot of times that can happen to us when we're at school and stuff. Like, we want to be like everyone else, like everyone's wearing, something cool. I think we brought it up a few podcasts ago, but it was more of a joke back then, but like clout goggles, like I was telling you guys about.
Yeah, I remember those.
Right. And so like you wanted to fit in, you wanted to have those same sort of things. But the thing is, like you were saying, like it can become obsessive. And like, one thing that is like people hone on it for pastors, especially is like sneakers, preachers and sneakers, right?
Shout out.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's a crazy Instagram.
I don't always agree with it, but I like it.
Yeah. But like, if you're spending a lot of money on shoes, like it shows what you value. And like I think that can become a problem in our lives if we choose to value, our expression of what we're wearing over how we treat one another.
Yeah.
Because I know it's in Matthew 6. Jesus is talking about don't worry about what clothes you wear, right? Don't worry about like
why wear them at all? I mean, sheesh. It was in the original plan.
Yep.
Please wear clothes.
Yes, please wear
please
clothes.
wear clothes.
We would appreciate it.
But yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, growing up, like, what was it that you felt like? Did you go through phases? Because like some people like have very like defined phases they went through. Like there was that emo phase, that hip hop phase, whatever it was. Like, what was that phase for you guys? Like growing up, that you was like, oh yeah, I'm so cool right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had basically, well, there's really 3 phases.
Okay.
There's, being born and your mom dresses you, up to like, I would say for me, like after middle school, like I would wear just like whatever I had. And it wasn't like I went shopping for clothes. I didn't ask my mom like, hey, can I get these? It was just like whatever clothes I got for Christmas, that kind of stuff. And same sort of thing. We weren't like insanely rich. We weren't like awful, but like,
Right.
like I would wear like gym shorts to school and like a shirt with like John Cena on it.
Nice.
That kind of vibe. And then it wasn't until high school I started like caring about what I was wearing, and I was big on the skinny jeans and band shirts. I was much like and I was also big on like bright colors and being different. So like I had pants that were every which color.
Nice.
I had like cut off jeans that were blue that my parents ended up throwing out because they didn't like them, which I'm not sure I'm still over. Like I kind of still want them back. And then there was my famous plaid skinny jeans.
Oh,
that I would wear with everything that didn't match.
Yes, sir. Was it like the buffalo plaid, like the red and black, or was it okay?
It was like plaid skinny jeans.
Nice.
I've been wearing Toms since high school too.
Toms.
Yes, sir. The
Alexandria shirt.
the international footwear of any hipster.
Facts. And any guy with a beard.
I don't wear Toms.
Well, me guy with a beard, I guess.
I got you though. No,
but like they're the only shoe that makes my foot not look insanely wide. But the problem is my foot is insanely wide. So I don't know if you can see on the left side of my foot here. It's frayed
busting out.
Okay.
My foot's busting out of the Tom like a
Is
like
Tom
a biscuit.
still around?
Is
Tom still making shoes?
Is Tom still making shoes? It's possible. Okay. Well, the shoe. Well, yeah, they're making Toms, but I don't know if he's still the CEO. That's true. I don't even know if it's Tom. If that's
is that where the name came from?
Huh?
No, I just threw that out there. I didn't know who really made it. I was wondering because when those finally like give out, like, are you going to be able to replace them?
I remember the man version was supposed to be Bob's that were made by Skechers.
Man version?
Yeah.
I think
What do you
that's
mean
just
man version?
I think that's just a knockoff.
Yeah, I think it was, but because they didn't make Bob's for girls. I don't
Bob's
think.
was a terrible knockoff. Like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Bob's. That's how you're going to come out with something that's comparable, and you're going to name it Bob's. It's Tom's, simple name. Bob's. Come on. Anyway, All right. So where were you going with your plaid stuff? That's what I want to know, because like, was it the plaid that was kind of like I am coming into my own. This is my style. Is that it?
It was
Like
more.
high
It
school?
was more. I cared about the shape of the pants. I wanted them to be tight because I listened to music or something. And they happened to be plaid.
Nice.
But they were like plaid all over. Like it wasn't like they were jeans with like a little plaid tear in the pocket or whatever. It was like plaid, and they were ugly.
Oh, I mean, I got you.
I loved them.
I feel like when you have a pair of like pants like that or something like that, it matches nothing, so it matches everything.
Right.
Is my philosophy.
Yeah.
It was like camouflage. Like it doesn't match anything and it's hideous, but like it matches everything because nothing goes with it.
Right.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I also middle school I was wearing those like fat etnies.
Oh heck yeah, dude!
Yeah.
Skater shoes.
Yeah, but like OG skater shoes.
Yeah,
with, like,
I got you, man.
with the tongue that looks like this thing.
Dude, I used to work at Journeys when I graduated high school. I was in retail management, and Journeys was my jam, dude. All the DCs, the etnies, all of those, man, was like, I mean, they looked like a pillow on your foot,
Right.
like house shoes.
My friend Jordan wore like the high top Osiris's
Yes.
with like bright colors everywhere. Like the most obnoxious shoe you could possibly put on. But I mean, it was the coolest thing back then. It was
Yeah.
like really sick.
It's so funny, like, skinny jeans were a thing, and then you had these big puffy shoes. Like, what the heck? Who came up with that?
Yeah, bottom heavy.
What about you, Christopher?
So what he like triggered in my mind from high school was like
Pants.
I wore a lot of skinny jeans, like because like I was like stick and bones when I was in high school because I grew so fast, and so my legs, like my whole body was just pretty skinny. But I look back on some pictures, I'm like, bro, those jeans were way too tight. So I can't do that no more for sure.
Like laying down on the bed.
They weren't necessarily hard to get on, but like I would look at the pictures, I'm like, oh, and sorry that I'm going to call his name out, but I looked like Kyle, bro.
Oh, you mean Kyle Smith? We don't know a Kyle name.
Yeah, we don't know.
anything.
Talking about Pastor Kyle.
Thank you, TJ. Come on.
Well, I don't know. If
Yes.
you're talking about
Yes.
that Kyle, Pastor Kyle with the darker hair.
You're talking about
kinda
Pastor
short.
Kyle Holmgren from the Bunnell campus.
Yes, TJ. Gosh.
Shout out, Kyle.
Um,
We love you.
but his point was actually pretty similar to mine. Like I did prefer how they fit because like around the calf, I didn't like how loose it was, and like
no.
I did prefer that fit. But dude, I look at some of those pictures, I'm like, why was I wearing those? But yeah, I grew up in Washington. It rained like 70% of the time there, so I was wearing a lot of hoodies and
Rain
flannels.
suits.
Yeah.
yeah, got
Yeah.
it. I understand.
But I would say like nowadays my like go-to, like my favorite is athleisure. So like
What?
yeah.
Come on, somebody research that. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
It's really a thing.
Oh yeah. I like
Go ahead.
Give
keep
me
talking.
some joggers and like
Give me some
one of
joggers.
those performance hoodie type things. It's like a long sleeve hoodie tee. Dude, I love that stuff is so comfortable and like my body shape like fits it really well.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Athleisure?
Yeah.
You give
That is
off to me
amazing.
like a modern skater.
I give off modern skater.
Yeah.
I own like 3 pairs of Vans, but like that's
Well, there you go. But like the pants you wear, especially those, like you have like a shirt I think with like horses on it.
I have a lot of graphic tees. Like I love graphic tees.
Yeah, they're super graphic.
Yeah, so I guess it's not your fashion; it's just your shoes, your pants, and your shirt,
Yeah.
and the hats you wear.
Yeah. Yeah. My hats are pretty trendy typically. Like I love hats. I'm oddly not wearing one today, but
He actually dresses in 3-piece suits when he's not around here. I mean, he really dresses down so he can really appeal to the crowd.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
this dude.
But one thing
Gangster.
I will remember,
Zoot
so I wouldn't say I'm a sneakerhead now. I like shoes, but
Dude, come on, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. Your head does not look like a sneaker. Where's that meter? Yes, sir.
3.
Yes, sir. That hit. I'm sorry.
Hit what?
I'm sorry. Y'all can deny it all you want. Those 40 listeners out there, they're gonna laugh. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, but when I was in middle school, I was like really, really into sneakers because I had a lot of friends that I played baseball with that were very much into sneakers. And so I didn't necessarily have a ton of money for it, but I had a few pairs. And then when I started high school, I kind of just sold what I had. But like what we were talking about, shoes became something because everyone else were doing it and like everyone else had it. I felt like I needed to fit in to have those sort of things.
It was the way it was with heroin for you, right?
Huh?
Huh?
What a turn. But I don't know, you might have remembered this, but when I was in middle school, dude, the Nike Elite socks, do you remember those?
Oh, you're talking about the ones
with the little stripes on the back?
Yeah. Everyone would wear them with sliders.
Yep, with
Yeah.
slides.
They still wear them with slides. Like, what's up with the leather double strap and socks?
Oh, that goes hard.
Why is that a thing?
Like the Birks with
Yes,
yeah, bro, that goes
Birks?
What are
crazy.
you talking about?
We're talking about Birkin.
No,
Well,
I understand, but I'm talking about you. What do you mean it goes hard?
bro, that goes crazy.
No,
Bro.
sandals and socks?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, no offense to anyone who wears this, but it looks dumb.
Like a 50-year-old
Nah,
dad
drip or
wearing?
drown.
Because that makes
bro.
it better. That makes it better when you say, no offense, but that's dumb. I'm going to offend you, but that's dumb.
No. I don't own a pair of Birks, but I can get behind
With
it.
or without socks, I'm not a big fan of Birkenstocks. Let's start there.
I used to
Second
love
of all,
Birks.
socks and Crocs.
My mom
I
was
can almost make it because the Crocs are covered. But when the sandals are like out in the open and you're visibly wearing socks with them,
Dude, socks. Have you seen people wear socks with flip flops?
you should see my new smoker. Shut up.
I'm going to go get in my Subaru Outback. Check out this new Patagonia shirt I got.
Bro, my
sorry.
mom, I think, wouldn't let me get Birkenstocks when I was in high school because she was afraid I was going to become a hippie.
I thought you were going to say Subaru guy.
A Subaru guy. No, I went to school with lots of Subaru guys. Trust me.
Subaru guys are the guys that you hear walking down the hallway because you hear their keys flapping because it's on their belt buckle.
Yeah.
Right? With the carabiner.
I have a WRX. Oh, by the way, did I tell you I have a WRX? Oh yeah, last night I was in my WRX.
This episode is meant to be offensive.
Good.
We are profiling. So
Coming for you.
So speaking of trends, like what are the trends that like just stick out to you right now right now in our culture? Like what's that trend you're like, never?
I got one.
Okay.
People wearing backpacks for style. No,
that's a thing.
yes.
What?
Like I feel like I see every rapper on stage wearing a backpack with, I assume, nothing in it,
Huh.
That's stupid.
jumping around on stage with a backpack on. I like you know what it reminds me of? Fortnite. It reminds me of back bling.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, back bling IRL?
Trends that stick out.
Yeah. The trends that stick out, you go like, that should not be a thing. That's
No,
not cool.
one. I would say it's kind of died down a little bit within the last 5 years or so, but like the hype beast stuff, you know what I'm talking
Supreme.
about, TJ? Yeah, like Supreme,
Yeah.
Bape, like all the like super expensive designer stuff that's like shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of dumb.
Well, part of that was really just like crypto, but tangible. Like people would just buy it to sell it.
Yeah. Or and like like the stuff that Kanye came out with that like looked like homeless clothing. Yeah, they literally had like tears in like t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like rips in them, and I'm like,
Bro, I have a couple shirts that have rips and tears in them that I used to rock for sure.
Yeah, the little ones are cool, but there was ones that were in that line where I was like
yeah.
like $800 for that. Like what?
Anytime, yeah, like when you're paying like that much money, like I got mine at H&M for like $20. Right.
Yeah.
But it's like never fails. You walk in, you have somebody that has gray hair will comment, "Did you get attacked by a bear in the parking lot?" Sure did. That's what happened. Did you pay money for that? Yes, I did.
I'll
I
call
got
someone
some
out.
Wranglers in my closet that I've been wearing for years. It looks like that. Anyway,
You got jeans for 20% off, I see. Are those your holy jeans?
I'll call.
I wear these to church on Sundays because they're holy.
I call one person out who does this more than anybody. That is Pastor Joe Pudding. If you're wearing anything that he wouldn't wear, like if he came in and saw me wearing this, he'd be like, "Is it cold where you come from?"
That's so funny.
And like when I used to shave the side of my head, he's like, "Did you pay half price for that haircut?"
My baseball coach always used to say, like, if you asked him if he got a haircut, he's like, well, I got them all cut, not just one.
Yeah.
But I would say like the double strap, like with socks, I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, why is that even a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand it in the least. That would be one. There would be a style that I thought never, ever is this ever going to be something that I'm going to consider. And that was the dawn of the reincarnation, whatever you want to call it, of the fanny pack, man. Like when people started wearing fanny packs, I'm like, absolutely not, never going to do it. That was dumb. It was dumb back then. It's dumb now. Not going to happen. Well, I have a fanny pack.
Dude.
And the practicality of that fanny pack is phenomenal. Do I wear it on my fanny? Absolutely not. Don't know why it's called a fanny pack.
Yeah.
But I do wear it, like, try to wear it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the way you got to do it. If you're wearing it around the waist, no.
No one can see this, but Lisa, her look of disdain right now, peering at us is just, it's like,
well,
what
why?
are you even talking about? Because what?
Well, because her husband has a fanny pack that he wears.
He wears it around his waist? No, he's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, he's good.
Dude,
Oh no, I know what I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
Lisa doesn't have
what
one.
Chris
has fanny
has, what Chris does have, not you, Chris, her Chris.
Chris King, yep.
Yeah. What he does have is flip flops with fanny pack pouches on the front.
Sent from heaven.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Sent
those
from
the
heaven.
slides.
The slides.
Sent from
with-
He's like, I got a little snack.
Dude, I'm serious. They were like, you know what, guys? We've been enjoying these up here on the streets of gold,
Oh,
and we
sent from
feel
heaven.
like
I thought you said-
we feel like we need to send these down to earth so that people can experience heaven on earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is part of the fanny pack / slides that I have seen. I'm fully convinced.
Your accent got you there. I thought you said sin from heaven.
Sin from heaven.
You've got that.
That's
got
what
that
that
would be
using.
a theological problem.
You've got that pin pen problem. What?
Pen.
Yeah, you see, you said the same word twice. So like what do you put in a cork board to put a piece of paper on?
Pin.
A what?
A pin.
All right, and then what do you write with?
A pen. That's what you want me to say.
Yeah.
It's a pen, man. I write with a pen. I put a pen in a cork board.
Say you pinned the pen to the cork board.
Absolutely. I pinned the pen to the cork board.
Pin. All right. Anyways,
Yeah. So I'd say like the double straps, but the fanny pack, man, like honestly, like I completely see the practicality of it. It's like a Swiss Army knife, man. Sure is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's the same thing that people say that drive Subarus and have their keys on their belt loops.
I used to
It's
do it.
practical. I always know where my keys are. Anywho, so one of the things like you kind of led into it was like how fashion, for one's very subjective. Like I feel like the culture and the time that we live in right now, there's so many different like styles, and it's all mashed together. Like it's not like back when I was growing up. Like you had your hippies, right? You had your rednecks, you had your urban folk. The ones that would wear their pants down around their ankles. You still have that, but pants on the ground, pants on. Y'all remember that? Come on,
I do.
Anyway, so you had those people, and then you had your preps. So they wore the polos, they wore the the whatever you fill in the blank, the Sperry's.
Yep.
But now it just seems like it's all just mishmash, and it's kind of like just wear whatever you want and call it fashion. But like it's so funny to me that like some of that stuff that you see people wearing is like really expensive. And that's we nodded to it with the preachers and sneakers type thing. Like you see some of the things that like Furtick wears or Mike Todd, and like people are like, "Oh, that's dope." It looks not cool, but but it's called fashion, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool." Anyway, I don't understand how something that's so subjective can be like, "Hey, that's $1,000." Like, really?
It's like art, you know.
Yeah, art's
Art's the same thing. You'll see someone that makes a circle on a piece of canvas, and it'll sell for $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I think
it's
there
got
was
a person's name
a
behind
canvas that was literally just painted completely orange, and I think that sold for quite a bit.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing. But yeah, I think like one of the other things that we could consider too with, we're talking about, you know, these pastors wearing really expensive clothing and stuff. But like the one thing that the Bible talks about like wearing to church, like specifically is you shouldn't have like anything that like gets in the way, basically is what it's saying. So like not to be like over the top, like spending all this money on our clothes and everything. And so I know I think it was Cord that mentioned it, and he always preaches in like just these like super basic t-shirts.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just like his wife always gets mad at him. He's like, what? Wear a different shirt. And he's like, I just don't want to get in the way of what I'm trying to have God say to everybody. Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important when we're talking about ministry specifically. Like we're not to get in the way of the gospel. Like be like, oh, look at his shoes, but he's like talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's really important.
Yeah. Anytime again, this is my opinion, but I feel like there's some biblical backing on this, is like you were talking about, making reference to things that don't draw attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to recognize that you wearing, or what you are wearing, if you're presenting yourself from the stage, from the pulpit, that affects people.
Yep.
Because there are people out there in the congregation that are, they are struggling.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, you come out with a Gucci shirt on, or you come out with a 3-piece suit all decked out, whatever, you fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
Like you probably paid $1,000 for your outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're like, I don't even have $1,000 to my name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, we're talking about, then we begin to present the concept of the tithe and the offering. Like, that looks a little weird, even though that's very biblical. The tithe and our offering is very much a part of our faith journey and necessary as we grow. But I can see how, like, if somebody's coming to your congregation and you're rolling in your, $100,000 car, or, you're wearing your Gucci shoes or $1,500 shoes, whatever, that I'd be like, no, thank you. And I don't care, book sales or not, because we could go that route too. A lot of these, pastors who are popular, famous, celebrity pastors, whatever you want to call them. Sure. Are they doing other things that they may be able to buy with that? Sure. But I think, like, wear it out to dinner with your wife. Like, don't wear it up on stage when you're talking about the things of the kingdom of God. That would be my thing.
I'd agree. Yeah.
So, but anyway.
That's what I like about this church, though. Yeah. You don't have to dress up to come here.
Yeah.
No.
Like there are churches where, like, if you walked in not dressed up, it would feel weird because you're the only one not doing so.
Right.
But like, I work here. I'm working today, and I'm wearing like pajamas.
Pajamas.
Dude, I remember when I was in high school and I went to church on Sundays, I was wearing sweatpants and a beanie. And like typically if it was a Sunday during football season, I was wearing a football jersey.
Right.
So,
well, thank God that stigma, I'll call it, is gone, where it's like you have to be that way. And like, I also feel like the not wearing hats thing is like going away as well.
yeah,
right?
that was never a thing to me whenever I was growing up.
Yeah, people are like, do you have to wear a hat?
Different cultures, man.
Yeah,
Most certainly.
especially on stage when I was in the worship team. It's
Oh, really?
like sometimes we'll get somebody come out like, do you have to wear a hat?
Huh.
I'm
Interesting.
like, no, I don't have to wear a hat.
TJ,
but I wanna
God
wear a
can't
hat.
see your face if you have
Exactly.
a hat on.
That's like
It's like it's blocking his view.
that's why I'm
It's
just
also
like,
blocking the incredibly bright lights on my face.
yeah. There's so much going on in the world. You think God can't go through a little fabric? Like, there's like wars going on, and you're upset about my hat. Now, one time I was wearing a Winston hat, which is a cigarette brand. It was a NASCAR hat, but still,
I see.
and I was like, okay, I kind of see why I should maybe I don't need that hat, but like,
Yeah, and like on that thought, part of the time frame that really propelled forward was, if you've seen Jesus Revolution, that whole movement with the hippies, like they were coming in without shoes on, and it upset a lot of people within the congregation of the church because, oh, they're getting the carpet dirty. And he's like, we can buy a new carpet. Like,
or we could rip it all up. Hey,
yeah,
we don't even need it.
In fact, shoes aren't allowed anymore.
shoes aren't allowed anymore. Take your shoes off.
Or we could just sit at the front door and have a foot washing ceremony every time they come in.
Oh, I've been a part of those.
Instead of greeters, like shaking your hand, come on in, sit down, have a seat, everyone.
It's a lot.
I'm gonna.
It's a lot of volunteers we need to get.
But that
wild.
I mean, what Chuck Smith did with that decision to like let them in, no matter how they looked, like it took a lot of guts based on the congregation that he had with everything, because he knew he was going to lose people from it. But what God was able to do with that was just incredible. So
this is good. This is a good segue. This is a really good segue.
Come on.
So in the same thought, talking about who we are accepting into the church, and as the church, the body of Christ, not four walls, but the body of Christ, we were accepted for who we were in our sin. Jesus died on the cross, right? And so we should be a place where people come, not tidy and well put together and, living the same way maybe we do, right? Because it is a place for people to find Jesus, right? So where's the line drawn when you have, say, someone who is dressing immodestly?
ooh,
Now, and here's the fun part. Because anytime we talk about modesty, I would say 98%, your mind goes to how women dress. Would I be wrong in saying that?
that's correct.
Okay. I have a female nodding that she agrees. So that's good, because I'm sitting here on a couch with two other dudes. So it's like, thanks for your opinion, guys. I'm glad we're all on the same page. But so that's where we go to. So this is what I was talking about in the beginning of, like, this is the question I have. Like, when we talk about modesty, should it not be geared towards men as well? And if it should be, I believe it should. But in that same thinking, what is immodest for a man? Because come on, as growing up, we could talk about immodesty like, oh, you're showing too much cleavage as far as a girl's concerned. Oh, your clothes are too tight, or it's, things are hanging out where they shouldn't hang out, whatever, right? So we can kind of pinpoint that. But what about a dude?
I think it goes back to what you said before, where like the word modest doesn't mean not naked. The word modest means like unassuming. It's like, so if you're distracting someone, you're being immodest. So I would say, if you're a guy and you're wearing like a $38,000 Gucci whatever nightmare, then yeah, you're probably distracting somebody. I wouldn't call that modest. If you're like, if extreme stupid example that would never happen, if you walk into church wearing a scuba suit, you're covered head to toe, but like, it's not modest. You know what I mean though?
Yeah,
like I feel like people confuse modest for like, looking for sexual attention, we'll call it.
Yeah.
But as far as guys go, like, muscle shirts.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I don't think you need them.
I think it goes to the guy's side though, because like, so when I was at college, like I worked out a lot and I was around a lot of dudes that like were gym junkies.
Here we go. What? Go ahead, rub it in our face, man.
Yeah.
I was working out. I was lifting about 255, and anyway, go ahead.
70,
Sorry.
but
Just counting.
Just kidding. But one, like, it was really prevalent, like, when you go to the gym, like a lot of dudes like would not wear shirts that would cover their shoulders or their arms at all, right? Like there was obviously a goal, and like part of it, you see, like you can see mind muscle connection stuff with it, but sometimes there is a little bit of a motive, I think, because you wear it and then you walk around campus and you're feeling all big, right? And you're like, who's looking at me? So I think, And
Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna leave that there.
what was it I was thinking about?
Sorry.
But the other thing, because we deal with it all the time when we go to camps and stuff, right?
Gotcha.
Girls always have to wear one-piece suits, and guys, like the girls always complain guys don't have to wear shirts, right? And so, but there's God made man and woman differently. We have to recognize that too. And so, but they always make a point whenever we're at camps. It's like, hey, don't always be just walking around without your shirt off. Like if you're at the water, okay, like we get it, but don't just be walking around the camp without a shirt off.
It's one of the things. It's just how it is. You have the things that need to be covered, so you have to cover them.
So I guess maybe a question would be, at what point is that not allowed in the church? So for instance, somebody doesn't know Jesus. Maybe they are a woman of the night, we'll say, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
For instance, just a fun fact, living in the church world, there was a time, and I won't mention the church or the place, but I'll just say I was a firsthand experiencer of this particular problem. But there was an issue with shoes on stage. So people who would sing on the worship team, there were certain shoes that was told to not be worn because they looked like women of the night shoes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they revealed their toes as well. That was a big thing too. I'm thinking like, look, you got bigger problems if you're getting excited over toes.
Yeah.
So anyway, but my point is I guess like, at what point when someone's coming in to worship or just to figure out what this is all about, do we say, oh no, I'm sorry, you got to turn around and walk back out because of what you have on?
Nah. But we're also talking this is a perfect world where everybody in the church isn't giving that person dirty looks, and they're like as a church we should be accepting of someone who has no idea what's going on,
right? And
they're just dressing how they dress, and they're trying to find Jesus, but we're too busy saying let them do that.
Right. Well, it'd be the same. I guess it'd be the same way too. Like people who are, coming to church and like, they hear something really like exciting that's been said, and they throw out an obscenity, what we would call an obscenity, right? Foul language, but really it's like their mind has not been renewed, right? Being saved. It was one thing that, our spirit, man, our spirit is renewed, but it takes a little time for that mind to get there.
Yeah.
And so I think, just being mindful of that, like give people room to grow. But at the end of the day, like come on, modesty is an important thing, right? I've always heard modest is hottest, but what is modest? Like if I came in here walking around with a button up shirt, like down to my belly button and had some gold chains and my cheeseburger hair hanging out, little cheeseburger,
power V-neck,
yeah, deep V, I mean, I guess would women be like, oh, he's making me stumble, right?
Men are so much quicker to do that though. Right. Like I feel that's the big deal, is that because an argument we had in the youth group for a while was that girls are more speculated on, like, for that sort of thing, because like, well, it should be the guy's responsibility not to look, and it's like you're right, but also help a brother out,
right? Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's a two-way street. I think too much focus a lot of times. Oh no, you're fine. This is great. This is quality content.
In fact, you want to talk about fashion?
You want to talk about fashion, Nicole?
Dang it.
She says, I've got to go. Likely story. But yeah, I think it's a good point. Like, I do think that it's a two-way street. Yes, it is an issue because guys were created to be more visual. Because really, like, honestly, there's not too many things I think that guys could show up wearing that girls would be like, oh man,
Yeah.
man
It'd
I'm
be more
stumbling
embarrassing.
right now. I'm stumbling. Help me, Jesus. Right?
It would be more like, look at this guy. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because it would be more so like the guy that comes down and sets down and like begins to talk about feelings and emotions. And now all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
oh goodness, Lord, help me, give me strength, you know?
And so be it. That's the right way to go.
So yeah. So I think, I have no idea what we've come to the conclusion of, other than modesty is important, and we need to be mindful of both parties.
Well, as in most things, and in all things, right? It comes down to purpose in what you're doing, right? And I mean, when we're choosing out, like, this is the example that popped in my mind, but like choosing out a crop top, are you like, is a girl thinking like, you know, oh, he's gonna look at me, or is it like, oh, I like the way this looks, right?
Yeah.
And there's a certain point also though, like, well, I like the way this looks, but I have to be considering what it's going to look like as well, right?
They like the way that it looks too.
Yeah.
Right.
Much like our conclusion with the movies and TV thing, I feel like we could do the same thing. If you were carpooling with Jesus to church, would you dress like that?
Truth. I mean, it is a very good filter, right? So I think, because at the end of the day, it's really just clothes that we wear, and it really doesn't make a big difference. However, I do feel that like fashion itself can help us express our own individuality, but can we express our individuality in a way that, glorifies the name of Jesus?
Yeah.
Whether that's through modesty, whether that's through, how much we're spending on our clothes, like those types of things. I think we can, and I think we should. We can't just turn a blind eye to it and say, just do whatever. But we have to filter it through. I would say, like, the Jesus test. Like, I don't want to say what would Jesus do, but at the same time, it's like, if Jesus was there, like, do you think he's going to be rolling with all of his homies and, you just went and spent 5 million shekels on a sweet velvet robe, I mean,
you don't understand. It's easy.
like, hey, Jesus, I was a tax collector. I had this back in savings. I mean,
That's good.
and so anyway,
It's in mint condition.
anyway.
That's like I have like a vampire voice.
1,
Count Dracula.
2,
The Count.
3. All right. Oh my gosh, it's off the rails.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, what do you think?
Good
we're
stuff.
probably past you.
Yeah, we got 42 on here. About 8 minutes from before the battery change.
Okay.
Cool. I think it was
Nice,
good.
nice.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, hey, plug, if you start commenting and sharing these things, we could get more content going and more interviewees or guest hosts. And so we would love to know kind of what everybody thinks. Even if you think it sucks, please tell us. I'm all about that business.
Oh, trust me. I have
it
people that tell
sucks.
me it sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Tell me it sucks. For reals.
People voice their opinions, though.
Yeah,
That's
they're
for
like,
sure.
this is so boring. I can't take it. Fine.
They're
no
like,
problem.
what is happening in this
I'm
podcast?
secure.
And I'm like, yes.
That was the point. Target nailed.
Yep. Yep. It's a journey, man.
What I think we need to do is we need to make some content that isn't the podcast. Continue the podcast. I'm going to say stop the podcast. But,
Explain.
But we have a YouTube, and there's one playlist of Journeyland stuff, and then nothing else.
Bet.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
That's not hard.
Totally agree. Hey, Lisa, could you get on that?
Thanks.
I mean, could you go ahead and...
Yeah, because Lisa
just
doesn't
kinda-
have anything going on right now,
Go,
right?
go
Just
make
go
a
ahead.
video.
At
on
least
that.
6
Right,
months ahead.
She's super
If you could
super
go
free,
ahead
right?
and-
Kelly turned around like Dr. Evil.
Is there something you needed to say?
If eyes were daggers, I would be stabbed.